So for the first time ever, I made $100,000 in a month with my business. Now, only 65% of that was profit. I say only, but I feel like that's a healthy margin. I'm back in my hometown. You can see the setting for this video is Cambridge. If anyone wants to Google where that is, it's somewhere in the UK. It's where I grew up. And 2 years ago, I was working as one of the tour guides here on this river. We used to sell tickets and we used to push the boats. And I've been back here for a couple of months, working at home with family, with friends that I used to know. And I wanted to give a couple of lessons that I've learned on kind of achieving goals, because I left kind of my hometown, I went traveling, and in that time I went from like 0 to making 5K a month as a setter, 10K a month as a closer, 20, 30K a month as a solo growth operator, and now running an agency doing, 100K a month. And I think one of the biggest reasons for that was being able to detach myself from the outcome. For a very, very long time, I was always operating from a place of extreme scarcity with money. I worked here 2 summers ago when I finished my A-levels, so high school for Americans, and I wanted money more than anything because I really feel like growing up, I think money was something that was always an issue. There was always scarcity around it. We need to save money. And so all I wanted was to just save up as much money as possible to give myself a buffer. I didn't want to go to university. I didn't feel like it was something that could bring me to where I wanted to go. And so I was just very money focused. I was very, okay, I'm going to set because that's the quickest way I can make money. Close, that's the quickest way I can make money. How can I give myself more leverage? I'm going to growth operate. And I was willing to do practically anything. And traveling really opened my eyes, but I was always just so attached to the outcome. I actually didn't really invest in myself that much when I was starting out, because I was every single dollar or pound that came into my bank account, I wanted to hold onto it, and I held onto it for dear life. And now I'm at the point with my agency where I spend $40,000 a month on team, on software, on an event we just hosted. I lost a lot of money on that event. And if you want to be able to make huge changes, you have to be willing to give up huge things. You have to be able to let go. I wasn't willing for a very long time to let go of things that were keeping me comfortable and safe, like not taking risks. I've taken more risks in the last 3 months, and I still feel like I haven't taken enough. But it's only been in this last 3 months, since I've gotten home, since I've looked around at myself, I've looked at my surroundings, I've looked at the people I've been with, and no one changes. Very few people in my life change at the rate that I do. And through detaching myself in the last 3 months from the outcome of how much money am I going to make this month, I've really just focused on the inputs. I've been waking up early. I've been just working, focusing on the highest leverage thing to do, whether that's a hire, whether that's writing copy, whether that's building SOPs. I've just been so focused and just completely detached from the outcome. Because when you only focus on the outcome and you don't get it, you feel like shit. And when you focus on the outcome, it just cooks you mentally because it's all you're focused on. And then another thing that happened with me when I was only focused on this one outcome of how can I get more money into my bank account? How can I hit the next revenue target? My health declined. I let go of everything else, and I had to take that control back and live a lot more holistically. Of course, I'm still focused on my work, but I just had to be completely detached. I had to be like, okay, what is going to be is going to be. I'm going to do the best that I can. If an opportunity arises, I'm going to take it with both hands. I know I'm preparing myself. I'm getting the skills that I need. I'm building the team that I need to build. I have the clients that I need to have. And just focusing on the inputs have been an extreme change. I feel like every single 6 months in my life, I change so much. I'm a new person every 6 months. And being able to let go, just let go of the old person you were, let go of the old habits, the old identities, and all of that. You need to be able to do it, because I've come here to where I used to work, and there are still the same people, some of which asked me to put me on, bro. And I've seen them, and it's they're in the same place because they aren't willing to let go, and either they're too attached to their current identity, or sometimes when you're too attached to the goal, it just makes it way harder to get. When you obsess over something, whether it's anything in life, really. I think the best example is with girls. If you're obsessed over someone, they're just going to pull away because it's you're too needy. So being able to do that has been one of the biggest changes over the last 3 months. And I think so many things come down to luck in business. There's so many things where it's like a timing thing, an opportunity thing, but being in the game and being around people and constantly working every single day. Like today has been a Sunday. I've practically worked all day and Saturday, and I don't normally do this. I wouldn't recommend it. It's not very sustainable for like 52 weeks of the year. But when you constantly just work as hard as you can, you are able to give yourself the luck that you may see from the outside as luck, but actually that person's worked extremely hard for it. Another thing that I've really battled with is like, for a very long time, I always thought that I wasn't the type of person that could achieve a goal. I was like, how the hell am I ever gonna make $100,000? There's someone right next to me called Andre. He might be able to come in the frame. I was with him last year in Dubai. He's over here. I'm not sure if he's gonna get in the frame, but he is someone I went to school with. And last year we were in Dubai while I was setting up a company, and I lost $10,000 on it. I was stressed as fuck. It wasn't the right decision. Anyway, I digress. He said, Louis, and at this point I'm making $20,000 a month. I was a solo growth operator, no team, didn't know how to run ads. I was not very good, right? I was just hustling as much as I could. Like I said, I was really attached to the money. And he said, Louis, I think you're gonna make 100K a month this time next year. And I said, no, I don't think so. Maybe 50K if I'm lucky. Like I didn't feel like my income was secure. I didn't feel secure in myself. And it turns out I did hit it. And I think self-belief is a difficult thing when you haven't proved to yourself. But now I feel like I'm at the point where I have proved it to myself that I am competent and that everything could go to zero tomorrow. And I know that I would be able to build things back up to where they need to be. And I think also another huge reason for that is having a very, very strong why. Why are you doing what you do? If you don't know why you're doing what you're doing, let's say your goal is 10K a month, 20K a month, 100K a month. If you don't know why, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to sustain the work needed to hit that goal. People have very different reasons for hitting goals. Some people act from a place of jealousy, of hate and anger, and you have those negative emotions. And I think those are some of the most powerful emotions. For a very long time, I probably acted from a deep place of insecurity or lack of safety. And I think that's normal for the most part. You know, I think everyone has that inside of them, but you also have to tap into the good emotions. Are there people in your life that you want to provide for? What are the positives there, as well as the negatives? Because if you don't remind yourself of those every single day, once you achieve a goal, and this is something that hasn't happened. In fact, being detached from the goal itself and just being focused on why I'm working and what I need to do every day has led to the most progress, because I haven't stalled. I think a lot of people have it where they stall. They hit 10K a month. Their goal is 10K a month, 10K a month is going to change my life. And they hit it, and then they stop working. They go out, they spend the money. But for me, because I have the why and because I just only focus on the inputs, I'm not someone who's flashy. I don't spend a lot of money. You know, I could buy a fancy car. In fact, you know, I could buy a fancy car. Instead, I buy one for my mum. I could go on holiday and not work a lot and let my team do everything and kind of stay at 50, 60K a month. I could probably do that, working much less. But my goals are bigger. My reasons are bigger. I want to do more. I want to provide more. I want to be able to impact more people. The minuscule impact that I've had so far on the people around me, and obviously myself, has been like life-changing completely. Like if I wasn't doing what I'm doing, I'd probably be working all day. Not that that's a bad thing. I think I was pretty happy, but I wouldn't be able to give people in my life the security that I want them to have. And I wouldn't be able to give that to myself. So detach yourself from the goal. You don't want to be in a hurry. You don't want to be like, I need to hit this by this time. Just focus on the inputs. Make sure you are seeking out the right information. And by inputs, I think a lot of people also will bias towards inputs that are familiar. You'll think you're working hard. And yes, you might be working hard, but you're doing all the things that are easy in your business and you're taking a lot of time doing them, when the actual hard thing might be learning a completely new skill. For me, that was paid traffic, or hiring and managing and motivating a team and signing better clients. And something else that I've been very, very good at is saying no, losing out on deals, on money, to focus on the long term. So yeah, $110,000 or 111, I think, actually cash collected in the month of July 2026. This month in August, we might even beat that. I guess we will kind of see how the month goes. And it's kind of like deja vu type moment being here in front of Kings where I used to work a couple of years ago, and see how much has changed. Because genuinely, if I can leave you with anything in this video, is that detach yourself from the goal, focus only on the inputs, give yourself extremely big reasons, and there is no way that you cannot succeed with enough hard work. You know, it might take you 5 years, it might take you 10 years, but you just have to stick to that plan, because I promise you, more than anything, it has been so worth it. And I can't wait to see what 200K a month and 300K a month and even bigger numbers and even bigger plays and even bigger risks are able to give me back in my life in terms of what I can do for people. So yeah, thank you for watching.